See, madness, as you know, is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Hello, Manic Sound. Here we have a video by Mike the Bootlicker. Mike the Cop here, he's commenting on, I believe a Sean King post, in the context of which, so let's get right into it.
Notorious for being anti-cop and a professional race baiter. In all fairness, I would have tweeted at him and asked him to come on here and talk directly about these issues, but
so far it's right.
He
anti-cop,
but on his
baiter.
Instagram, he posted a situation that made headlines this last weekend where a grown man punched an 11-year-old girl outside of a mall in North Carolina and somehow has managed to take that cell phone snippet and make it a call for action to let the police, in his words, feel his wrath and their wrath, all those who follow Sean, I'm assuming, and also has fanned the flames in the comments and beyond of racism. Shocker. This guy could... Yeah, that's how that works. We've gotten to a very, very silly place in with race in society as of late. It's cringy at best. Go ahead, Mike the Bootlicker. Make Oreos about racism because something in the middle is white and it's separating the black cookies. It reminded me of a clip from the movie Boomerang.
This guy's a master at analogies.
This little clip here.
It's racial.
Well, expand.
I bet. Now, check it out. The white ball dominates everything, right? It knocks the shit out the yellow ball, the red ball, right? And the game's over when the white ball drives the black ball completely off the table.
That's racial.
Metaphors.
Let's talk about this.
I got you. Yeah.
I will defend my brothers. I will defend the weak. I will pursue and fight evil so others may sleep. I am the sheepdog. Protect and fight evil.
Oh, look at him. Look at him. Keep trying to keep the balance with the hip-hop intro. Yeah. Good one.
Evil so others may sleep. I am the sheepdog. Protecting the night. Wolf hunters unite. Bring it on. It's time to fight.
Let's dive into the video exactly as it was posted on Sean King's Instagram. See the guy here, obviously an older male, and he's going to... Ultimately, you're going to see him push this girl, supposedly 11 years old, and then after that, she comes back like she's going to punch him, and BAM! He decides to punch her.
Okay, so now here we are in a bit of a fucking debacle, right? You know, you got somebody coming at you and coming at you, right? You know, I personally believe in self-preservation. So the problem is that misunderstanding that there are people of different shapes and sizes and creeds and genders, you know. There's a difference there, you know, that we have to pay attention to. It's just like people that say race is a social construct. Yeah, no, it's not a social construct. It's a very real thing. You're in La La Land. So you can't, in the same term, you can't say that's just a person coming at me. You have to say that's a young girl coming at me, okay? That is a young girl coming at me. Maybe I shouldn't strike her, right? Okay.
Crowd goes crazy, as I guess we would expect outside of a mall with a bunch of kids. Interestingly, or conveniently, the entirety of the video is not on Mr. King's Instagram. There is a snippet that happens before this that I do want to show you, to be as fair as I can possibly be with this. His family here is clearly seen now in this clip, and him getting pushed is also clearly seen.
Well, first of all, they're clearly being harassed. The family is clearly being harassed. All right. No, that means nothing so far for the actions that took place. But let's go ahead and note that. We also don't know why he's being harassed. You know, we don't really know what happened before that. We don't really understand, like, what happened. Like, why are these people going at him like this? You know what I mean? He is being harassed, but why? What happened? We don't have that footage, unfortunately, so we really can't unpack that.
As you've already seen. But I think it's important to note that just because you see something on video does not mean that you understand the entirety of the situation. We don't know who else was there. We don't know what led up to this. I don't know what was going on at this time that would have led him to take that kind of action. Now, as a general rule, grown men should not be punching any children, let alone a female.
Ooh. Stop right there, buddy. Stop right there, buddy. Mike the cop, right? Aren't you a cop? Let me see here. What do we have here? What have we here? Mr. Virtue. What have we here? Let's find out how much he can really stand by what he's saying here as a cop. As a cop. Okay? As a cop. Okay, so what it looks like we have here is a party, a block party of some kind happens. We see people with coolers. Okay. Oh shit, what is this? Is this a young female girl? You have to explain to me why this is necessary. Is she a threat? Is she under arrest for some ridiculous reason? And this is a young teenage girl in a fucking bathing suit. Looks like at a block party or a pool party. I mean, come on. Alright, okay. I'm stopping there. Fair enough, okay. Just one instance there, you know. I mean, things happen. So, you know, we have to take them as they go. You know what I mean? You know, so, oh shit, what is this? Oh god, is this another young girl? A young female?
Can you get him off instead of recording?
They're on their way. They're on their way. They're coming.
Okay, so you see, these are the type of things that are literal cognitive dissonance, right? Okay, so you take these uniforms off of these cops, right? And they're because of the plethora of victimless laws and complete ridiculous laws, right? You know, you can argue underage drinking isn't good, and it's not. But what are we now, just jailing people for it? I mean, come on. Interjection, you know what I'm saying? Intervention. These are things that could help with it, you know. But we're attacking people, you know what I'm saying? So take these uniforms. So if this guy here, this guy that punched this young girl was in a uniform, how much different would the conversation be? Okay, how much different would the conversation be? Well, he was in a uniform and this girl was attacking her, so he had every right to punch her because he's a cop, right? But no, this here bootlicker says, no, I'm going to virtue signal and say that's a bad idea. All right, go ahead, Mike the bootlicker.
Female children, I know, non-binary, whatever. Let's just, for the sake of this video, please just go with me here. All things being equal, this absolutely seems like overkill to me. But I want to be careful.
Overkill. Now that's funny coming from a cop.
Careful with making all kinds of assumptions about a situation that I know very little about. As a general rule, again, adults punching kids, no.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think you do, though, there, Mikey.
Okay? Now, there's a big difference between a 17-year-old lineman getting mouthy with a adult outside of the mall and pushing him or getting in this match. That's a little bit different than a 54-year-old dude and an 11-year-old girl. But I want to be careful with seams.
Unless he's a cop.
I want to be careful with seams because I wouldn't want to be judged on one short clipped video at that, in addition to the fact that it doesn't show or give understanding and context to the entirety of the situation. So I just want to be careful with that. I don't want to rush to judgment on just about any short videos we see on the internet that don't provide the full context. Now, that said, Sean King's major first problem is that, and he says in his words, he was furious about this, so much so that he says that the cops and the DA need to feel our wrath. Now, because why? It was a misdemeanor charge, a misdemeanor. So that's why he's mad. I think if I looked at the news correctly, he was charged with 3 misdemeanors ultimately. But let me explain this to you. Police officers and DAs do not make the laws, first of all, and they also do not determine whether something is a misdemeanor or a felony.
Ah, yes, but they do have discretion, do they not?
Those things are described in the law itself. There is objective criteria for
and subjective discretion
whether something fits into a misdemeanor or a felony category. Now, in Michigan, I don't know the laws of North Carolina, but I would imagine it's a scale similar in scope like this. You have simple assault over here, like assault and battery. That's just like you got punched, right? Then you go all the way up to murder on the other end. That's definitely a felony. And in between, there's different crimes. You have aggravated assault, which in the case of Michigan law would mean that it requires some type of immediate medical attention. Not like I'm injured and I'm going to go get checked out, but immediate medical attention. Then you have assault with intent to do great bodily harm, assault with intent to murder, and then, like we said already, murder. So there's a spectrum of these
Come on,
cases.
get to the
sometimes
point.
misdemeanors are, small. They even categorize those. And he was charged with the highest level of misdemeanor. In Michigan, it would be a circuit court misdemeanor. It's a 2-year. Okay, it's a 2-year misdemeanor, not just a 93-day, which a felony can start at 1 year. So there's a little bit of a crossover on this spectrum. So you have to understand that. So Sean King's ferocious attempts to call wrath upon the profession of law enforcement and attorneys, district attorneys, prosecutors, is misplaced because he misunderstands, A, that it's not their decision.
Well, Sean King
and
misunderstands
B, he doesn't seem to
everything,
understand
so.
that if something doesn't meet the criteria of a felony, you can't just say, well, that looked real bad and that makes me mad, so we're going to make it a felony. Reality doesn't work that way. Moving on to the idea that this is about race. He sees this video and all of a sudden he doesn't know this dude from Adam.
Now that's another thing. You remember when I mentioned, the difference between the guy being a cop and the narrative being different for him, right? So if this guy that punched this girl was in uniform, he would have been, oh, well, that's okay, because you know what? She was coming at him. He had to protect himself. As a matter of fact, it wouldn't have just ended at a punch. It would have been a punch, and then it would have been a mad scramble to kidnap her and throw her in the back of a fucking car. Which, you know, in all fairness, she would have... It would have been an assault on her, but it also would have been an assault on him, whether he's a cop or not. Okay. But anyways, as far as the race thing goes, it goes the same way. All right. You can swap out colors and everything. It doesn't matter. We need to start looking at things from a human perspective. Everything's not about race. Okay. Racist shit is about race. Intentional racist shit is about race, but people love to make every single thing about race, and it is a failure. It is intellectually lazy, and it's dangerous.
He doesn't know that girl from Eve, but he makes all sorts of judgments about whether or not ultimately this is about race, and I'm going to show you why this is nonsensical. We start with his actual Instagram page. Kim Nicky says, I wonder if these were 11-year-old white girls and they pushed a 6-foot, 200-pound black man and he punched them the hell out. Would these comments be saying the same? I think not. Matter of fact, the cops would have came and shot the black man. That's
I don't know about the cops.
Fact.
But
she's
this statement could be considered true. Well, at least Sean King wouldn't have been on the front lines of it, and there would have been certain people that wouldn't have been outraged about it, just because of the simple fact that she was black. And it's disingenuous that people would have been. It's disingenuous that people wouldn't have been just as outraged by any young girl getting punched. You know. It's disingenuous, it's ugly, and it's lazy as fuck, and it's following a narrative. You know, there's not a name for it, but I could closely put it next to virtue signaling, in a sort, and it's a bit pathetic. You know.
Shot the black man. That's.
By the way, Sean King is the race baiting master, and that's exactly what he does. Okay.
That's a fact, she says. Sean agrees. Damn right. So we have this idea that somehow if a black man commits a crime, if it would have been a black man that did that, not only would the cops have showed up, but they would have shot him.
By the way, technically I'm mulatto, so you have to understand, I have no dog in the race. You know what I mean? I don't understand where people get these. They're literally, things are literally moving backwards. You know, people say they want to be progressive and they want to move forward. People are literally moving backwards. All right, and you hear all these arguments, and they're talking back to slavery, and they're talking back to Auschwitz and all these things, and it's like, yes, it happened. These are fucking horrific things. But we have to build our society and our civilization. We have to build it up from the ground now, right? We have to move forward, okay? And the only thing that it's doing, all this race thing, all this race talk, it's dividing more. It's creating more division. And I can have a whole video just on race and the realities of how it applies to community, society, civilization, and I might just fucking do that because there are a lot of people with their heads up their fucking asses.
But they would have shot him. Facts. Wow, I think we have two different ideas about what facts mean. Others agree with him. I went to Twitter, and Big Bamboo says, gotta love the media spin. Let me fix it. Burley, North Carolina. Southern, just in case you didn't know that. White man left hooks an 11-year-old black girl. Had it been a black man hitting a white 11-year-old girl, he would be hanging dead before the cops showed up. But since it was reversed, it's only a misdemeanor. And
little hyperbole there.
Exactly why you have to understand the first part. Misdemeanors and felonies aren't created around race, and so this is nonsensical. But if it was
the problem with that is people are literally championing how these racial differences are, and they are literally, see, one person says, hey, it would have been different if it was such and such, so therefore I'm going to inflate it because it wasn't different. I'm going to inflate it because it was such and such that did this, you know. So we're in a big circle jerk, okay? It's like a perpetual motion. It's not stopping. You understand? You're feeding into the very thing that you are upset with. You're feeding it.
And so this is nonsensical. But if it was reversed, if we just took a gander around the internet, as it relates to fighting videos, would we see the situation reversed that guaranteed a black person is going to be shot if they assault a white person, or hanged? And that's pretty funny. When's the last person the cops showed up to a black man that was hanged because he assaulted somebody? Here we go. Okay, this is a story about a kid that had been getting bullied. He hid in a McDonald's bathroom, and this guy comes in and starts pummeling him. You will see that the one throwing the punches happens to be black, and the one receiving them happens to be white. Okay. Now, no, he's not over. Gosh. Okay.
What point is he trying to make here? Like, you understand that comment was hyperbolic. So you're showing these videos. So now you're doing it intentionally now, right? You are intentionally just fucking with people, and you are agitating people. You're doing this on purpose at this point.
There we go. Now, here we go. Size disparity. I don't know what the age is. I can't tell because he's getting kicked in the head, so I couldn't tell you if he's younger or the same age or whatever else. But I mean, obviously, this individual better hope the cops don't show up because he's black and he's going to get shot. Oh, this is a good one. I don't know what's going on here. I know about as much about this situation as I do the situation outside the mall. But either way, black assailant, white victim. And there's a group of kids. You'll see that the kids that are there that are going to leave the door are actually also black, and they're laughing. So I'm wondering when the person that's going to hang this kid shows up, because he's not when he gets there. Yeah. This guy, he's a black man. He's probably just going for a bike ride.
You know, and that last one, that's could be a parenting issue. It's also a public schools issue. You know, where we have no classes in racial unity. We have no classes in understanding one another's culture, right? Okay, we got Black history, we got, you know, things like that, but we don't have any particular classes that pertain to understanding each other's culture and appreciating each other's culture and understanding that there is a difference between cultures. You know, we have nothing that does that. And it's pretty fucking insane. Like how could we not, especially in this in the current social climate? How could we not say, hold on a second, we need to have a class or something that we come together and say, hey, look, this is our culture, this is your culture, because race is real, right? You can see it. we self-segregate ourselves. We have black neighborhoods, we have white neighborhoods, we have Chinese or Asian neighborhoods, Hispanic neighborhoods. We self-segregate. So we have our own cultures. We are compartmentalized, right? So why aren't we teaching classes on understanding one another's culture and how they differ, and accepting those cultures? Like, how do we not see that this is a very, very important thing to start early in life in schools to teach?
A black man. He's probably just going for a bike ride. No, definitely not a bike ride. That's not a pedal. That's a face. Wow. Okay. Well, clearly he's no longer with us because he would have been shot. Facts, right? Facts. The police would have definitely shot that guy because facts. I'm going to move on here to the next one. And yeah, this is a black male with a bat who decides that this lady, for whatever reason, needs a shot to the back of the head with the bat. Now, that is actually a felony. So do I assume, watching these videos with as much context as I have for the first one that we're talking about, do I assume that that's all racially motivated? Do I assume that if it was reversed, like the first video where it was a white man doing it to a black girl, do I assume that someone's going to do something different to him strictly based on race? Are these videos, I wonder if any of these are on Mr. King's Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or anywhere else.
No, because they don't fit his narrative. But anybody can counter those videos with other videos, okay? So the videos that you posted are they make no sense. They make sense, but they hold no relevance, okay? Because they can be counteracted. You can use them to make a point, right? But somebody else could take other videos and put them right next to them and say, okay, well, your point is now invalid.
I wonder if there's condemnation of that. The idea was, if this was reversed, okay, his assertion on his own Instagram was that if this situation was reversed, the black individuals that would have been doing the assaulting would be shot, and other people around the internet agree, going so far as to say they would have been hanged because it was in the South. So maybe hyperbolic. Either way, it's completely contrary to what is objectively observable. So, Mr. King, you have demonstrated in this circumstance again that not only do you misunderstand the law, you don't understand it, but you've called hate and wrath upon a particular profession simply because you don't understand that, and you want to further that by baiting this into a race issue when it is...
Well, there is a lot of hate and wrath towards the police because of the fuckery they do. Now, let me be clear. I am pro-police. I am not. I used to be extremely anti-police. What I am is anti-police culture. I believe that we need police, but I also believe we need a motherfucking overhaul, especially of laws, of victimless laws, of pointless laws, because people are getting hurt, people are getting arrested, their lives are being ruined because of these fucking ridiculous laws that are putting people's lives in jeopardy and fucking people up. There have been plenty of black men and white men that have been unjustly shot, right? Unarmed killings. There have also been a lot of white men and black men that have been justly shot. If you aim a gun at police, yes, you're going to be shot. It does not take a fucking genius, okay? But there are a lot of laws out there that allow these fucking morons, these cops definitely need IQ tests, right? They need litmus tests, right? Because there are a lot of fucking roided up schmucks out there that are just beating, harassing, and hurting innocent fucking citizens, and it is disgusting. All right, I believe there is a need for police. We live in a society, we live in a civilization, and there are fucked up people out there that need to be controlled, they need to be boxed in, but not the regular average Joe that what can't pay a bill, that fucking didn't, you know, fucking wear their seatbelt. That's a fucking personal individual choice. These things are the things that lead to these problems. All right. And now we need to figure out what laws are necessary and what laws are unnecessary and what the real job of a police officer is. Okay. It's just like I believe in government. I believe we need a government. However, the idea of the perspective of what a government is completely misconstrued. They have no place doing the things they're doing. There is a very particular job of government, and they're not doing that job. They're doing a whole lot of other things that are infringing on people, right? We need an overhaul of government. We need an overhaul of laws, police departments, and we need to weed out these fucking worthless motherfuckers that got a badge for the wrong fucking reasons. Especially the racist ones. What do? You know, don't fight the police. You won't win unless you got one hell of a militia. I'm disgusted with the police and what they do and how they do it. It is quite pathetic on many terms. But there are also situations where police have done their jobs, okay? But the police need to get their fucking head out of their ass and stop thinking that they are gods and overlords over other people. They are not. They are regular human beings that are trying to help provide order in a society and a civilization. Tighten the fuck up. Get your head out of your ass. I don't know how it fits in there because it's inflated so fucking big. You know, what do you do? I'll expand more on this. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it rolling. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button. Hit the dislike button. Hit me up in the comments. Tell me what you think about this. Am I wrong? Let me know. Am I right? Inflate my ego. Holla at your boy. One love.
Facts.
Oh, and just as a disclaimer, which actually probably should have gone before the video, the caveats and the semantics and all the different types of angles to these kinds of discussions are just endless. All right, so this is just one thing. I just took one video and commented on it and did a little commentary on it. It goes so much deeper than this, especially regarding race, regarding government, politics, police. These are all things that I'll surely get into, but this is just a little tidbit. I'm working out a new format and trying my best to see how it works for me. So work with me, guys, and there will be more to come, and I will be diving much more deep into these situations and these topics. Okay, so don't get too ruffled up about these things. I'm trying to convey the best way I can, and in most of these videos, just like the MGTOW video I did, I'm talking directly to the individual in a sense. You know what I mean? So roll with me, and let's see where this goes. All right. Much love, y'all.